Alright guys, we're back.
And
We're
the
doing,
largest
we're doing
portion of the
multicolored
review.
and the multicolored cards.
And the
And
first,
we're going over Alm's Beast. 4 mana 6/6. Creatures blocked by Alm's Beast have lifelink. I think too. This actually reminds me of the Wither Skill Worm, and it was Shadowmoor, I think it was.
I like this card.
Where it has, it's like where it was a 9/9 for 6 that creature block had Wither. And when,
yeah, I think,
yeah. I like this one a lot more because your creature's not getting smaller.
yeah.
Their creature's
I
not
like
getting
this
bigger.
though because I mean they're not.
And
yeah, you're still probably killing their dudes. So next turn, if they don't take 6
Yeah,
now, they may
really
gain 3 or
good.
4 life from their chump block. But next turn they're taking 6 anyway, so they lost their dude and they're still taking damage and they're still staring 6/6.
Yeah, he's really good just because he's gonna keep on eating people and
keep on trucking,
Assemble the
keep on
Legion.
trucking.
Most disappointing.
I mean,
enchantment
he's a 6/6 for
ever.
4.
Yeah. All right, Assemble the Legion.
The first time I
Plus
saw it, I thought I
at
said
the
must
beginning of
be
upkeep, put a muster counter on Assemble the Legion. Then put a 1/1
I'm gonna.
white soldier
How is this
token with
fantastic?
haste
Please
onto the
explain.
battlefield for each muster counter on Assemble the Legion.
This is fantastic
Yeah, on your next turn. On your next turn.
because you're getting you pay 5, you put it in play, you're getting 1 dude, then you're getting 2 more, and then you're getting yes. It's just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger. There's not as much enchantment removal as you think. It's good if it sits out there for just 2 or 3 turns. It's just gonna start.
I'm assuming you're
overwhelming
talking
your
about
opponents.
limited, right?
And you're gonna have all these have haste, so they
I don't
kind
even
of
like it
start
in limited
triggering your
because
battalions and all
your
this other
ones
stuff.
on
It-
turn 6 can be outclassed so easily
Yes, of
by
course
any
I'm talking
6
about
drop that your opponent has.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
It's not about that. You don't have to attack with this, right? It doesn't say you have to attack. You just
Nope.
get your 1/1s. So you get a 1/1. You're stalling your opponent now. You're cluttering up the ground. Yeah, it starts off with 1, but then it just keeps it's cumulative. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually, you're just going to attack with the whole team.
if
And
they
on
play
your main
fire?
phase, when you have 30 dudes in play, you're going to go. All my creatures get +2/+2.
Okay, still attacking through it. I don't know. For limited, it's fine. I still think it's fine for it. It is a problem card. If you have no answer for it, you're in trouble. But at the same time, it does cost 5. We don't know. Once again, we don't know how fast the format is. You may not be able to have time to get those 2, 3, or 4 soldier
I'll have
tokens
to
out.
think about.
But I think
I'll have to
I
see
think
how
it's
much
a fine
removal
card.
for the enchantment is.
It's a
but
first pick.
I'm still very eh. Oh well, duh. It's
Well, this next
any
one.
guild leader is good.
This
first
next
off.
one's probably my favorite. Aurelia the War Leader. Not every guild leader, but most of the time. This one is a 3/4 for 2 red and 2 flying, vigilance and haste. And when it attacks for the first time each turn, you get to do aggravated
This is
assault.
better than World at War.
If you don't know what aggravated assault is, at the beginning, untap all your creatures and get an additional combat phase.
She's like there. She's like right there.
God, this
Like,
card's so good.
If she's not already,
I can't wait
if
to
she's not
actually
already
try it.
playable,
She's
then
actually playable.
then she's like right there.
Yeah, and with Restoration Angel, oh man, it's going to be really good because Restoration Angel says, you attack with her for the first time, then you blink her at the end of that combat, and she is no longer that same card. So see how I
That's
said
not
if
gonna
it's the first time it attacked,
It's still
well,
it's
it
still
will
same
be the
creature.
first time it attacked. So it goes
I don't
into the
think that's
second
gonna work.
combat. Why won't it work?
Because it's
Yeah.
It's not.
yeah,
the same.
and also by the way, Restoration Angel can't blink Aurelia anyway.
But
Oh, you're right.
it's still
Can't
not.
against Angel.
It's still the
That's
same
right.
You have to
card.
cloud shift if you want to do something like that.
Cloud
But still,
shift.
it still
That's
doesn't matter.
worse, though.
It's still not gonna matter. By the time she actually hits play and you're swinging, you're hoping to kill her anyway. Kill them that turn anyway. 2 swings of like
And
4
plus
creatures
it
are playing.
says,
You hopefully swing it with like a
Aurelia.
Thragtusk, a
The
Restoration
war
Angel,
leader,
maybe
it
a
doesn't
Centaur
say
Healer.
this creature attack.
You're swinging
It
with a lot of
says
power. You
Aurelia
hopefully kill it.
attacks. Yeah.
Right, that's what they made sure.
Do you like playing
so
blue
can't
white?
Cloud shift in particular.
Well then.
Next card though. Oh my god. Yes. Oh, X damage divided among choices of any number of creatures and or players. Half those creatures.
I can poke
players
you for
don't
one.
damage. You
You're
can't
like,
play
hate
non-creature spells this turn. Oh, what a hate card.
Yay. Red, white, black.
I'm a poke
do
you
this
for
and
once.
then
You
wrap
can't
this in
counterspell my relevant spell and kill you.
Aw.
Yay.
Oh, you can talk. You can talk a lot about this card, but
Oh.
maybe
Aurelia's
yeah,
Furies. There's not much else you can talk
you
about.
just need to
It's a
read it,
fireball
and
that
then-
you can divide without.
You don't need to. It's a red-white fireball.
Okay,
instant
Bane
speed
Alley
you can
Broker.
divide.
Read
tap
it,
draw
realize
card,
how you play
then
Magic, and
Exile
move
cards
on.
from your hand face down. You may look at cards
Bane
exiled with
instant.
Bane Alley Broker, and then pay blue and a black. Tap, return a card, exile with it, and return to your opponent's hand. I like this card because against certain
it
matchups,
seems-
like if they
it's
like
draw
try to like
card
make you
for
discard
two,
your hand,
basically.
you can do this in response and save a card.
But oh. Yeah,
you get to-
they
no, you
pay
get to
cards though,
choose
but
which
you
one.
lose like
Still,
you lose
the-
your hand anyway. So I mean, that one card may not be relevant. It may be nice to keep it, but it's too slow. Yeah, no. Thing is though, it's still too slow. It's 0-3 for 3, and you have to wait one turn. Then you get to do it. Then you probably have to wait
That's
2
fine,
more
but if
turns,
you're-
to at least
no,
one
like-
more turn to activate
Because
the
at the
card
point,
back.
if your opponent's trying to make you discard
They may
cards,
be
they're trying
dead
to
by
hit
then,
you for
or close to death.
attrition. And if you're doing that, saving your own cards, and they're using their cards to make you discard like lands and stuff, it's like, all right, cool. Now I have my relevant spells. You don't have a hand anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fine card. You can draw a card and exile a card anyway, so I mean, you can exile a land card and never get it back anyway. So,
Ta-da,
and you
there
get
you
to
go.
stack
Now
it
you've
multiple
seen,
times, so
like,
you
how
can do
good
it
you
and
can
stack
actually
like
do
4 or 5 cards. Then, when you need one of those cards, go in there and find it and put it in your hand.
Can I just like leave? Can I leave the room while I talk about this card?
Yeah. Boom.
Can I
My
leave the room while I
card.
talk about it?
Bio Visionary. 2-3 for 3.
Alright, just go.
Do
Let's
what?
get this over quick.
Okay. Michael, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a fun card to play in FNMs and stuff.
Yep. I've already got the deck built. I'm just waiting for my copies to come in.
And obviously, if you do have the nuts
Stolen
open
Identity.
and sealed, or even if you draft it, if you get Bad Visionary and you get the copy of dude with the Cipher,
Yep.
I was
Yep.
like,
it's
I was like,
something
there's
that
a
can
wizard
happen.
deck?
What
There's a
makes the
wizard deck?
keyword is he's a wizard. Not wizard, excuse me, he's
A human.
wizard. Human.
Mhm.
Oh no, actually there is a wizard deck, but he's not good in that version. There's actually a standard wizard deck, but there's also multiple human decks. No, I've got the deck. I've been testing it. It's very, very fun, and the fact that I have like 6 or 7 different copies of clones. Got Clone, Infinite Reflection, the new Cipher clone, Calculating Counterpart, Clone in general, Evil Twin. Then I'm playing tons of little guys like Elvish Visionary and Arbor Elf for mana acceleration, because we're going to see a card coming up in a few where they all become XX to land a turn. So you're putting 2 different win conditions
gonna laugh
into your
every time
deck.
you
It's
lose.
just real silly fun. I just want to play it in FNM and see
No,
how.
I said I will laugh. I'll laugh to you think you played that deck.
So we'll see what happens.
I do.
I won't laugh because I'm playing
I
with
don't
the fun
play,
deck.
I don't.
It's
I
F-
go still.
You don't even go to FNM, so what are you talking about? I haven't seen you in forever.
This is my friend. My
Then
friend.
yeah, you don't even matter.
He's like, it
Alright.
turns all your
Borgamos
lands
enraged.
into bolts. That's yeah. He reanimates it on turn 4, on turn like 4 or 5.
Is it a reanimated target?
For 18 damage. He's like mulch. I just mulched for 4 lands. I just killed you with mulch.
Yeah. Huh? He's a top-down, really well-designed card because he costs 8 for 7/6 for a trample, so that's still reasonable. And then when he does combat damage, you reveal cards and put lands in your hand. That's good because sometimes you'll have 4 or 5 lands in a row. Boop! They go to my hand. Now each of those lands is a lightning bolt. I like.
I want to play Gyro Mage. I want to play Gyro Mage and ramp him out.
What do you think, Micah?
He's okay. I mean, in a reanimator deck, obviously you can get some crazy stuff going with him and your stupid demon that draws 7 cards, and then you kind of you gotta go nuts with that.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I mean, that's really the only home. You can't really play him in a ramp deck because you're playing your lands, then that's your fuel for him. I mean,
Yeah.
He's not limited playable, really. I mean, you could probably play him, but you'd have to have like another rare to play him, and he's a mythic already. You'd have to have the rare that evolves and gives you extra mana.
This is one of the few times where you're going to see a rare more played more
he's a one trick pony. He goes in one deck, and that's really all I can say.
What?
You mean uncommon? You mean the next card? The next card is going to see way more play than Borborygmus.
Now we're getting,
we're
getting into
absolutely.
Boros Charm.
We're getting into my
damage
favorite part
player
of Ravnica,
or permanent you control are
cycle of
indestructible.
charms.
This turn,
I didn't
creatures
talk
gain
into
double
a lot of
strike.
detail on different formats with the other charms in my other set review because I didn't have experience in those. I brought these 2 guys along because they play a lot more Magic than I do. They play Legacy and Modern and more Standard than I do, and they have better knowledge on those formats. So David's the most freaked out about this card, so you can talk about this one.
this is well, I like this card. There's another charm I like better, in particular, but this card, in constructed, is gonna be an all-star. Limited, it's gonna be an all-star. It's an all-around great card. This card's even gonna see play in Legacy. Just for 4 damage, Dylan did 4 damage for 2 is 5. The indestructibility, especially in mono red, doesn't matter. 4 damage for 2. 4 damage for 2. And double cleave. Giving a creature double cleave at any time at instant speed can be backbreaking as it is. If you don't know what double cleave is, or where it came from, is from Eventide. It was a 1-colorless hybrid 1 and a plains from Common. It was Common. So you played it in a format where they have hybrid creatures that were like 1/1s. They get bonuses when you played the hybrid cards in the same colors and stuff. And we had a buddy in this area who just drafted a deck with nothing but double cleaves, and that guy, he just killed him on turn 4, turn 5.
This actually reminds me of...
And double strike is just instant speed.
I just had this idea.
Very,
this
very
actually is if you don't have a way of getting those awesome, really good rares, like the Frontline Medic, or getting like the Blood Rush Ogre that gives double strike and +3/+3, this is a cheap way of getting those kind of effects.
What do you think, Micah? What's your opinion?
On the Boros Charm, I think it's the best aggro charm. Obviously, I like the Simic Charm for the control decks.
Me too.
Now, looking at the older charms, I actually think both of these charms are just better than the other ones. I liked the Is It charm. I thought it was the one that had the most flexibility to it because it was a damage, it was a counter, it was a draw. You know, it kind of gave you all the bases you would want.
Yeah.
It really didn't pick up as much as I thought it would. But these, I mean, it's really obvious that they're good. The Boros Charm is going to be a metagame card that is going to force people to have to build their decks around it, or at least play around it. You know, their Supreme Verdicts are a lot less good whenever every deck that's playing red and white can run Boros Charm. Every deck that's running green and black can run
green, black.
the
go
the other charm. and
Yep.
make that card dead.
You mean green and
perhaps-
blue?
No, green and black. Green and black,
Oh.
give your guys regeneration.
Oh yeah,
Go for
regeneration.
it.
Yeah, Gogori charm. That's right.
Yes, and so your Supreme Verdicts are becoming less good because of that. So perhaps Terminus will be a little more played because it doesn't care about all that.
And also, I'll talk about the other charms. One of the other charms I may start picking up in play is Selesnya charm, because we haven't got to him yet,
Okay.
but it's going to be one of the few instances that can actually deal with this guy coming up. We'll get to him in a second.
I like this card.
Call the Nightwing. Cost 4, you put a 1/1 blue and black horror with flying and playing in Cypher. Honestly, don't care for this card. One reason I say I don't care for this card is because like we discussed
But
earlier,
this
how
card-
the
here's the
Cypher
thing.
mechanic's just going to be based on maybe
Here's the
getting
thing.
in one
This
attack.
one- I like
So
this card.
For this card,
Yeah,
you're
let
going
me
to
say my
get
piece
2/1s for 4.
This one you can
Well,
make
2/1s for
it's a
4
flyer,
isn't bad,
one
but
flyer.
here's what's worse.
You can cipher
Okay.
on the token, it'll make another token. I like it. It makes a creature with evasion that you can cipher onto with the same card.
Yeah, but remember we talked about earlier
I
where
think the
1/1
crowd hates
flyers
this
were kind of like you didn't like the 1/2 flyer for 2. How are you gonna like a 1/1 flyer that's gonna cost 4?
Yeah, the biggest problem here is that 1 toughness creatures in this format or in this set are not going to be very good. There's already a lot of hate for the 1 toughness guys. 1 toughness flyers are going to be bad because there's the guy that gives them -1/-1 just for having flying. And then, on top of that, you've got another spell that gives
Yeah.
tokens -1/-1.
That was the
So
other
that's,
one.
I mean, that's a lot of hate against a card like this that's just going to naturally happen.
Yeah. When I saw this, I was like, it's just too easy to kill, and it's just I don't see them being impacted very much. There's too many flyers as well. Now against a deck that has no flying, yeah, maybe it'll work, but that's only if they don't, and they don't have a removal spell in particular. Cartel Aristocrat, 2/2 for 2. Stack another creature. It gains protection of a color of your choice. It's okay. It's fine. It's a 2/2 bear.
If it was the other way around, then it'd be good. If you could
So be like,
sacrifice it to give a creature of your choice a protection from a color of your
Clan
choice,
Defiance.
hit it.
This
All
card,
right.
I was like nuts. I immediately
My
linked you this card. I
second
know you'd like it.
coming up. Yeah, Clan Defiance, X, red, and green. Choose one or keyword more. Clan Defiance deals X damage to target creature with flying. Hi, Restoration Angel. Clan Defiance deals damage to target creature without flying. Hi, Thrak Tusk. And Clan Defiance deals X damage to target player. Hi, asshole.
You know, if it wasn't for the instant speed
Yeah.
fireball, this
But
would have
still,
been
this
really,
is-
really
this is
good.
like-
Yeah, Aurelius
That-
Fury really does make this one look
This is
bad.
this,
That's
is,
why
this
this
is for
rare
jump
now.
players, not
Yeah.
players.
But it's still a fine card. It's
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, this is like the backbreaker for.
Well, no, I mean
For
the
me.
Naya players are still gonna like this card anyway because it's gonna allow you to get around opposing Restoration Angels. Yeah, shoot Restoration Angels, shoot your Drag Tusk, get your 3/3 token, and shoot you in the face for 4. Now my Hunt Master
Yeah.
and my tokens and stuff are gonna be able to walk through it, even though you
Yep.
have a 3/3 over there.
Honestly, it's sorcery speed too. I think Aurelia's will still be better for the Naya players.
Instant speed. But like I said, this is still a fine card because it's a removal. It's a 3-for-1 removal
This is-
spell that has potential
this is where
upside.
you're playing.
And a little
and you're like,
downside because you're
you
still
open
gonna want to
this
have
pack,
that X
and
removal
you're
spell
like,
and kill the
I
creature
have
anyway.
to take
pump
this
it
card
into it.
in
You-
pack
I-
3.
Huh?
You're like, I have to take this card, even though I'm playing blue, black, white. No, you take
Yeah.
it so you don't die to it.
Not necessarily, but who knows? I wouldn't go that far. If it's pack 2 in your nose colors, maybe
the promo for Demir.
Eh.
It's
It depends. It
a
really depends.
promo.
This next
and
card,
it's
though, is
also a
kinda
really
scary.
good card. But it works with.
It's
the
going to be very
extra
stupid.
mechanic,
It's got
which
that mill
was- I
mechanic
think I was-
that the mirror has,
which
where it
was
just mills
lacking
until it hits the
in-
land.
For me, was the fact that I looked at the guild leaders and like the promos, they don't really work that well with the guild mechanics. This one works so well that it's scary. If you cipher on this guy, you can't really.
I mean, he's gonna get big
unless,
fast.
Like, if you make him unblockable,
he's gonna eat your library very fast.
Like your opponent cannot beat a ciphered guy with unblockable with him in play, because he will just kill you.
This guy doesn't even need to have Cypher, just to have that ability built into it. They have to take care of dead or there, or they're dead. But unfortunately, it's in the colors where they're milling them anyway. So they play it. They have to. They cast a spell, then mill like 2 or 3 cards, then kill it. So it still gets a couple cards no matter what.
Well, think about it this way: how many lands do you play in a limited deck? About 17.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got 17. So when you cast him, your opponent has, say, 5 or 6 lands in play. So they've got about 11, maybe 12 lands left. That means you only have to cast 11 to 12 spells, period, including your ciphers. Your ciphers are casting spells. If you cast without any other help whatsoever, that's all you have to do. And that's if they don't have any lands in hand or anything.
Hey, Matt, imagine this and a 2-headed giant with 2 copies of the mirror.
For each opponent, so both the guys mill. It's like they each have one in play, and they both
that's actually kind of scary.
Draw a card. It's like we both just play draw a card. Drawing a card and milling you for like 5 or 6 cards twice.
Yeah.
The only thing I do not like about this card is that you can't copy the token.
Curious about
and
this
then
girl.
I like her a lot. In limited, she's going to be a super bomb. Well, here's the beautiful thing. It's not going to be good in standard because people are already going to be running the 1 black, give tokens -1/-1, just to hate out.
But
right. So now this is just a 5/5 flyer for 6.
This is like the what? So. But
yeah,
people,
but she goes right into my angel collection.
They like look at it and like I can't kill this thing because it'll just come back, and because they don't have the money, they just got lucky and opened this mythic, and it's like, well, my friend wins every time because he plays this card. It's like, I like how Wizards did that, where they have mythic rare cards that are not busted to the point where every person, like Jason Mind Sculptor, yeah, like it's not. It's like because it's like it's a card that's so busted.
Can't compare anything to Jace.
But there's also mythic rares that are not good, but when you play them in certain formats, they're good no matter what. And on kitchen tables, they're gonna be fun. I like the balance that they have with the mythics in the set.
Yeah, but unfortunately, to be honest, against that, there's too many mythics that are not that great. Like for constructive wise, a lot. It's going to take away from like the people busting the boxes to try to get the chase, so they're probably won't sell as much stuff for
really awesome, amazing effects. That, yeah, like the intro to the Infinite card. Drawing your deck is actually kind of important. Is actually a really
that felt
thing.
mythic.
And then like it's like, all right, I have my entire deck in my hands. What are you going to do? This is personally my second favorite charm of the set.
Yeah. Alright, let's get on to the mirror charm.
Or search a creature with power 2 or less, or look at the top 3 cards, put a library, and then put 1 back in the rest in the graveyard. Weird thing of why I like this card. It counters Terminus. It counters any Wrath effect that is not Supreme Verdict. It counters any Clan Defiance. Counters Reckless Return. Counters anything that's game changing. Usually sorceries are the big spells that are important. You use this for 2 mana. You can counter their 6 mana spells, or I actually thought this was gonna be played in Modern because it kills Bobs. It kills early game Terminodroids if they don't. It also kills Deathrite Shamans. It even gets rid of I forgot the name. It gets rid of Delver before they flip. As for the third ability, I don't see it being as relevant as much, except for setting themselves up, or if they're playing like the combo deck and they just Serum Vision, they can. So. Okay.
Okay. Okay, actually, I'm gonna be completely opposite with you. When you say counter-target sorcery spell, there's already a thing like that called Negate out there. So we already have that, and it's easier to play in those decks that want to have that Negate. So that's gonna be easier for them to use. I would prefer to use Negate unless I'm already using blue-black, but once again, you may not have that blue or black, like that black option every time. But you never know. Destroying target creature with power 2 or less, that's fine. I like the idea of killing the Dark Confidants or anything, but in Standard, I don't see like anything major. Like a hunt, you can kill like a Hunt Master or something. But yeah, well, the last ability I think is the better part of the ability because it allows you to set your own deck up to like miracles and stuff. If you really not miracles, you can draw 3, get rid of 2 cards, and keep 1 card in your hand. Get rid of those 2 lands that are on top of your deck. It allows you to set up different cards and toss like flashback cards to your graveyard, so you can actually use it like a Think Twice or Forbidden Alchemy or something, and get value off of it. So you can actually use 2 of those cards.
All right, so here's what I think. Okay, the third ability is very good. You can use it on your opponent, and you can kind of super fate seal him. You can use it on yourself, like you said, to kind of set up some miracles or just set up your draws better.
Right,
or
especially.
You know, you just all kind of look at tricky things with it. But the thing is, with the counter sorcery spell, yes, it's less than Negate. Negate's obviously better. Destroy target creature with power 2 or less. That's obviously terrible when you have Smother, which is just much better.
That's like my biggest thing. Is like,
but the reason it's good is that you have the option of all 3 of those. Okay. Well, that's why all the charms are good, is because it gives you a lot of little situational spells. Like, you know, a Negate could be sitting in your hand, and they could be playing nothing but creatures. And that just means you took a pretty mulligan there. But with the Demir Charm, yeah, you might not have a sorcery spell to counter, but perhaps you have a creature with power 2 or less you want to smother.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what makes the charm so good, is that it gives you these situational effects, but without making it a dead card in your hand.
Like, because it gives you the option to either bounce a guy, or draw a card, or get a life swing. It's like it gives you that. It's 3 cards in 1.
Yeah, see, the only thing is, on this one, the only ones I think are relevant really is the third mechanic. Really, just the way to set up a miracle on the turn, even though you're not, the only miracle you're probably going to be playing is your Temporal Mastery anyway in that color, or whatever your third color might be. But just to be able to put something in your graveyard, get rid of a few cards you don't need, in constructive purposes. For limited, I don't see this as being the best charm. It destroys a creature 2 or less, which there are a lot of them out there. But
two of them are not good.
Right, correct. It's still a fine card. All the charms are fine. It's just
no, not all the charms. Whoa, not all the charms. There is one that's just straight up not good.
I haven't read them all.
The Demir Charm is probably, in my opinion, out of the 5 that we get in this set, this is probably number 3.
Yeah, Boros, Stigmate, and him. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Boros and Simic I kind of tie as first and second. Honestly, just they're really good in the decks that they get played in.
Yep.
And they're equally good in my opinion. Demir Charm is just under them, and then we'll get to the other 2 in just a minute.
Let's move on to the Rovo 4 for 6. When it enters the battlefield, return target permanent to owner's hand, and that player discards a card. This card is amazing. This card is great. I'm about your best guy. You have 2 cards in hand. Now you have to discard between that card I just put in your hand or that removal spell. Good.
Well, here's another thing. If they have no hand, then he's straight up a removal spell.
And the funny thing is,
destroy target permanent.
Yep.
It's funny. Look, it says return permanent. You can return that land when the mana screwed. Return your land. So now you have to go back another turn.
Go.
Yep.
Go.
Great card. Oh, Planeswalker. This Planeswalker, I like. Dome Rade.
I like him a lot.
3 loyalty for 3. +1. Look at the top card library. If it's a creature card, you may reveal it and put it in your hand. That's great value. That's good value. Most likely the deck you're running him anyway is going to be heavy creatures, especially the Naya deck. You're going to have a lot of Anadorks and Huntmaster, Restoration, Thragtusk, Aurelia. You're going to have a few verse spells, but when you do +1 and you hit that creature, it's bonus. The -2, you get to fight. You get to prey upon. So you use your Thragtusk to kill their 2/2. You use your Huntmaster Wolf token to trade with one of their guys. You kill their Champion of the Parish. You kill their, what's it called? Dross Messenger with a 4/4. You just get to fight. So you get to fight with the creature. And then the -7 is just overwhelming and insane, but don't think you can get to that unless you're already winning anyway. I like it for the +1 ability. Just the ability to draw cards in red and green.
Yeah, you're probably never going to use the ultimate because it does take 5 turns to get to there. You know, he only +1s each turn, and he starts at 3. So, you know, you got to game up to 7, then you got to have another turn to use it. So 5 turns is probably too much. It's probably better to just, you know, +1, try to get some draw power going, and then -2, clear the board, and just keep on turning your dudes sideways.
And the key thing is just look at the top card. You don't reveal it, you look. So you look at it. If it's a creature, you may reveal it. So you could bluff a little bit in this situation, where it is a creature, but at the same time, you may not want them to know it's a creature, and you put it back so they think maybe you're in that color. That's a removal spell. Maybe they'll be hesitant on what they play. So they're like, okay, so he has a removal spell coming up. So do I really want to play this and let him go ahead and shoot this now? Or should I hold this and wait? So that bluffing aspect can be really, really tricky.
Well, here's another little trick you can do with Domri, is have him in, like, I don't know, a rug deck or something where you have bonfires or temple masteries or something, and you can look at your top card, and yes, you might not be playing a ton of creatures, but you still get value by looking at that top card, and if it's a miracle, then you know that you can wait on their turn, you can cast it instantly, draw a card, get that miracle to go right then, or just wait, you know, you're going to get it on your turn, and maybe you don't use your draw card. Or if you do see a land or something, then maybe you know to go ahead and do some effect to draw past that land so that you can try to get to your Miracles creatures or whatever you want.
Right, and then also if you're playing like a Naya version deck and you're playing Terminus, you can look at the top of the card and you say, oh, you see Terminus. You may not play a creature so that you can save your guy so that you know next turn you're going to Miracle on Terminus and wipe the board so you can play your guy that follows.
Yeah.
So overall, I think Rade is going to be maybe a 2 of. I don't think any more than 2 because he doesn't, once again, he does protect himself technically, but doesn't protect himself by himself. You do have to have a creature in play in order to do that. But
crosses?
he has potential. He does have potential, so he could see play.
It's so good.
You want flyer trample for 3. Fine card.
Oh man, it's really fast. It's going to come out. It's going to be
he's in the
people.
correct color.
The only problem I have with this is that he does only have 1 toughness, and there are a lot of effects that can deal with 1 toughness in this.
So he's in the perfect colors to have the excuse of saying, "I only need 1 toughness."
Absolutely.
Because if he was a 3/2 for 4 for flying and trample, he'd be stupid. He'd be broken. Because in those colors, it's like, all right, there you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Next.
You will begin to hate your friends when they play this card.
This next guy, if you're a tabletop player, this is no, you or your friends are going to begin to hate you when you find out there's 2 cards to combo each other. It's Duskmantle Guildmage, the 2/2. First Guildmage we actually get to view. The blue-black Guildmage. You can pay 1 blue and a black whenever a card is put into opponent's graveyard from anywhere. That player loses a life. Okay. Well, then you can pay 2 blue and a black. Target player puts the top 2 cards in his library into his hard graveyard. The second ability I'm not a fan of because it costs too much. I mean, it's going to be grand limited. But if you are going to be one of those players that wants to push mill in standard and want to have an alternate win condition, the first ability is where you're going to go because you're going to be playing.
Oh, sorry, Jace did that? I didn't know Jace milled 10 cards.
And if you have a way to mill 10 cards and you just activate that twice, they lose.
This is turn.
No, I didn't think Jace milled 10 cards, but the card does exist. Like, and if you are a mill player, you're like
play Jace,
you're like dying to play this card. Turn 7, play this, they lose the game.
No, you play this on turn 4, you play Jace on turn 5, and then on turn 6, you untap, play a land, you activate this twice, and mill them, pretend they lose.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't
It's
think
like-
it's going
it's
to be
like, I
pushed
just
in
got
standard
milled
because
out
there
for
are ways to
damage.
interrupt that. Because, I mean, Planeswalker...
It'll be a fun in F&M
that
deck.
still
I mean,
doesn't.
But, okay, but there is a thing called Elixir Immortality. And... doesn't stop it. Doesn't stop it. You don't stop the life. But if you don't have, if you want to play the mill deck, this is going to be your alternate win condition. So this is the only way that mill deck I think can actually win because of Elixir. Because since Elixir does exist, they're going to have a couple copies in their sideboard just for mill
This is
decks.
basically.
And so, what
sorry,
other
my
way
voice
you
cracked a
go?
little
If your
bit.
deck's not
This
built
is,
to beat them outside of
you
mill, you
remember
need an
Vulture
alternate win
Reception?
condition. This is your alternate
This
win
is,
condition.
the
Like-
enchantment from Zendikar, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah, this is basically the same thing. Just
Which
it's
one?
not as good, mind you, but it's
Zendikar?
this.
Yeah.
It's the same concept,
Yeah, but
and it's in a much more suited set for that card.
the thing is, though, the extension wasn't even that great. Right.
Okay.
Alright, this
With
guy
flying.
is the one I
cannot forget the flying.
really want to hear
That's like the most
opinions
important
about.
part.
Dusk Mental Seer. 4/4 Bob
Alright,
for both
I want.
players.
I have a yes.
So,
Okay.
what's y'all's
I want to
opinion?
hear the no side first because I know that it's two no's.
I
against
don't
one
like it.
yes.
So we have a no, do we have a yes?
Oh, you like this
Alright,
guy?
let's go.
Okay. Okay, Mike.
It's 2 yes, and 1 no.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I don't like letting my opponent draw cards. I mean, have you ever heard of Howling Mind? It's good, not great. It's good, not great. And you know what? Usually in standard or in limited formats, when you let somebody... Now, in limited, okay, I'll give it to you because he is a 4/4 flyer as well, so he's fantastic there. But in, like, standard and stuff, letting them draw cards, usually that's just a bad idea.
Alright, well, I know your side, of Casey over there, so I'm gonna do
took
mine really fast, but
my
yours
point,
I like.
man.
I like
That was
him
one of
because
my
he's a
points
hater
right there.
against
You can draw
reanimating.
your
I'm gonna
Grizzle
make
Brand
you
take
draw
8.
big
Draw your
daddy.
Terror Hook,
Draw,
you
take
can
8.
take 8.
Oh,
No, but it's just like how hate that doesn't take.
Well,
card
see, the thing
cards away
is,
from you.
Reanimator, there's already much better hate than this.
oh, of course, of course, of course.
I was using it in Esper Control with Lingering
Okay, you
Souls.
said you were
My highest
playtesting
cost
it
card
earlier.
is,
What was the deck you were
I think
playtesting it in, and how was it
Tango?
impacting the game?
No, it was the singleton copy of Terminus, and I never. And I think I have 26 lands in the deck, so the odds are most of the time when I'm doing my card draws, I'm only taking like maybe at the most I'm taking two life or none when I'm using this ability. I was playing against Reanimator decks, which of course is the
Yeah, but
absolute
what were
nuts.
you playtesting against where you
I
said this
also
card was
playing
actually
against another
impacting?
control deck. I made him take 10.
Okay, the only reason I have a problem with
This-
him is because, yes, he does net your opponent a card, and if they draw a land, okay, so you just netted them a land. So yes, there's damn if you do, damn if you don't situation. But being a 4/4 for 4 in a color where that is very possible, and it could actually be a solid attacker,
This is
oh
all
my god, because he gets over
another one of
Restoration
these is
Angel, he gets
because
over
I like it
Aurelia.
because it's on
He
your
gets
turn.
over
It's not on
big
each opponent.
flyers are already
On
going to see
each
play or already
upkeep.
in play.
It's only on
And-
your turn that your opponent is getting the benefit.
Yeah, it's just your turn, yeah. And yeah, unless they draw unless they draw an instant that they can impact
That's why I
that
like
turn,
this card, because
it
it
may
gives
not
you
be
a little
impacted
bit
very well.
extra
And then you get the
information.
information anyway, because even though they get
also
that
gives
extra
you a
card,
little
you get
bit
to see
reach,
what they have.
two
So
bombs
you do
if
have
you need
counter
it, which
spells,
is not
you can prepare for
always that relevant, but sometimes it can come down to the point where it's like, oh, I wish I did lose those like 3 or 4 life on the. Yeah, so it's like it's a tax basically on the spells that your opponents get to draw.
And if they do draw a spell, they take damage for it. Yeah. So he's a fringe card. I want to see how he's going to be played before my
does
real
anyone
opinion
like
goes on.
Decipher spells?
This next guy for limited is going to be great. The 0/4 for 3 fish mutant that it's unblockable. That evolves.
3 mana 0/4 that gets bigger. And the thing is, it can
Yeah,
block.
this card's a great, good card for the
It can
mechanic.
block at 3 mana and get bigger.
Yep.
So good.
Yep.
This is one of my favorite cards in the format right now, or in the set, because of this card and the mechanic. It's so good.
What about you, Micah?
Elusive Craft. No, not elusive.
What?
What do you think of it?
We just
Which one are we talking about? We talking about Executioner Swing yet? Oh, he's still on the Crassus? Sorry, my wife was asking me if I wanted.
I also like
if
the
I
fact that
wanted-
he blocks.
Yeah, no,
it
no.
doesn't have the
No, he's
soul
good.
anti-claw.
Why
so
wouldn't he be
can't
good?
block.
He's a 3 mana dude. It's unblockable, and he's gonna get bigger.
Yeah. Shout out to Amber. Alright, Executioner Swing. Current creature that dealt damage.
I like it more
+5/+5
than
till
Avenging
end
Arrow.
turn. Ouch! He poked me! Slice!
I don't like it.
What?
Oh, actually, I was about to say I like Avenging Arrow better.
I like Avenging Arrow better because it's a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only thing that the -5 is better at is, indestructible
Right.
and regenerate, but I
It's
mean,
a removal. Okay, remember, this set doesn't
they could
have.
pump. They could pump and get around that.
Yeah, I know, but there's just not a lot of removal spells in the set, so it could possibly
Still
be
played
one
it. You
card
s-
you have.
you have to
Like, if
play
you
it.
need a removal
Yeah.
spell, you'll
This
take
is the
it. If
same
you have
thing.
to have it, you'll take it. Like Avenging
Oh, yeah.
Arrow. If you don't have it,
Exactly. I didn't like Avenging Arrow either.
I'm just
but,
glad we don't have to
sometimes
choose
you have to
between
play
the
it.
two, like-
Yeah, exactly.
so yeah. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So it's not
Yeah,
it's definitely a card you have to
side by
consider.
side, yeah.
and
Okay,
if
next
you're
card is like the guilt.
Oh
this
no,
is
that
a
would be
promo
the
for
choice. I'd
the
still take Avenging Arrow.
Guilt for the Cynic, right?
All right.
Nah.
Fathom Mage,
Cynic.
and it is busted. This card is bonkers. Whenever a 1/1 counter is placed on Fathom Mage, you draw a card.
If you pick Cynic,
So
as your,
many tricks can be
as
done
your
with this
guild,
card.
You pray you.
Well,
get
first of all, we got to talk
Cynic
about the most
with
important part of
with
this
it.
this card.
Or the green, the ooze.
Yes.
Or there's all kinds of stuff that combo with this. You've got the little enchantment the green enchantment that puts a counter on it every turn.
Or the little instant that puts a 1/1 counter on it and untaps it and draws a card.
Or that. Well, let's talk about the most important part of this card, and that is that it is the chick from 300.
It's a wizard.
She's got the red hair. She's got the smoke.
That's
what it
true.
is.
That is so funny. Oh, and it's a human.
Yeah.
It's a
The
human.
Oracle.
I'm on the fringe was on
She's the
Cynic
Oracle
play,
from
but,
300.
I would
Yeah,
definitely
she's a
like to see
human
it.
that fits in the decks. There are a couple decks that exist right now. I think she's going to see standard play.
All right. I do. Like
I think
this,
she has. She can
playing
have a
this,
home.
and then,
Maybe not right
at
now,
the same
but
time
down the
attacking,
road, I think she
with,
could. see
Geist
play.
Saint Trapped and
Just
drawing
because
a
drawing
card.
cards, you know how good that is.
This
Right,
is
exactly.
the Boros,
Exactly.
I
I love
promo
that.
effect,
That's
if I remember
exactly.
correctly.
Great, great.
Oh, it's not?
Fire Main
Thank
Avenger,
God.
3/3
Thank God.
4 when it attacks with
No,
two
it's not.
creatures, no, it's not.
No.
It lightning
Yep.
helixes. Now,
Yes.
when I first saw this, I thought this card was nuts, but then I thought about it, and Restoration Angel still exists. And so that's what made me kind of lean.
Actually, let me tell you a little answer to Restoration Angel with this Fireman Angel. It's called Frontline Medic. You turn your guys sideways anyway.
Yeah, I know.
And you just lightning helix their face, and if they want to pop out a Restoration Angel to try to block you, who cares?
Yeah, I understand. I don't know. I still like her. She's just not
Oh,
as
yeah.
much as I did. I like when I saw her, I was like, oh, cream, cream, cream.
Yep.
She's really
Alright,
good. She will see standard play. I see her. I see her in some Naya decks.
Fortress
doing
Icon.
I didn't even
some
see her in Boros, just
Sorry,
as a
I
flyer
was
for
about
Boros.
Sure.
Fire my intro.
Sure.
Continuing on the review.
Fortress Cyclops. Oh, you want to continue?
Just give it vigilance and be fine.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a 3/3 for 5. It attacks gets +2 for 0.
So
But it
yeah,
flies
just give it
gets +0
vigilance and
+3.
hit both both worlds. Yay!
And you can do that. There is actually probably about 20 different ways
This
in
is-
this set to do that. So
It's a fun card.
Yeah.
that's all you got to do.
Yep. Now we got
This
another
is what I was
limited.
talking about. This is the
And this is an
Boros,
uncommon, by the way. That's a
promo
6/3
foundry champion.
uncommon or a 3/6. That's a really good uncommon.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. The Foundry
yeah,
champion.
Foundry Champion. Now, this is only going to be a limited card. I don't see it being standard, but it's still insane. When it enters the battlefield, they'll damage target creature play equal to the number of creatures you control. And in a Boros deck, you're bound to have a few creatures in play.
Especially if you have that enchantment that somebody doesn't like so much.
Right.
That puts up a crap load of little dudes.
And then you have fire breathing, and then butt growing. I think the card's fine. It's great in limited. Amazing
correct me if I'm
limited.
wrong, but I think
I don't see it
this
impacting
go around,
standard
if
right
they're
now.
doing the same thing they
Costs
did
too
for the
much
last
for that
pre-release,
ability.
At 6
I think
mana is
they'll
just too
much
much
better
for that.
job
But,
choosing the promos you get for the guilds than for Ozorius and all the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. that was a mistake. I
Right.
think that they're gonna very quickly
The
realize.
Demir promo is a little
I think overpowered, yeah.
That's a little overpowered.
Here you go, have fun. Make sure you just don't
Hell.
make anyone cry.
There should not be a powerful mill card as a guaranteed here you go in a limited format.
Yeah.
We haven't even gotten to the Gruul promo, which I also think is bonkers.
The Gruul one's pretty good.
Okay, let's get to Frenzy Killing. Destroy a land. Switch your deck for a land and put in the basic land, put it into play taps.
Yeah.
It's land destruction.
This is the point. This is
Reap and Sow, yeah.
But Reap
Yeah.
and Sow can search for any land and put in
Any land, yeah.
untap.
Yep.
It's a weaker version, obviously, but it's still something you're probably going to consider if you're playing 3 colors
or
and
if
you
they're
need a mana
playing
fixing.
gates, it's like, all right,
It's 5 mana, so I don't know.
It speed me up. I like that.
Or if your opponent's playing 3 colors and you want to destroy their land. Yep.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, this is like one of the bonkers
the next
ones.
guy,
I was
though,
like,
I
why
think
did
is
they
going
make
to
this
be
card so
standard
good?
play. The
Yes.
Chain Rampager.
This is the best Blood Rush in my
That's
opinion.
all it has to
And-
be. You want more?
Red and green, +4/+4 and trample. That's it.
Why? Because they wanted to make.
What? Yeah. WTF.
You're gonna like
Question mark,
go,
exclamation
I have
point.
to play about this
Why?
card because they're probably gonna have it. Because
Really
they
good.
got red
And it's
green.
only uncommon, so you're going to see a crap load of these in limited.
Hi. Yeah, just on turn. You have to worry about on turn 2 being attacked for at least 5
Instant-
minimum. On turn 2! On turn 2. So,
Maybe
and then
in
you get to turn
standard.
4, you get that
I don't know.
4/4
I doubt this
trampler
will be
for
in standard,
4.
but the red
That's
green
nothing to
ramp deck is
sniff
like,
about.
Red green
So
ramp.
you
Turn 1.
pump it,
Raptor
we get a...
Factor. Turn 2. Attack for 6. You're on. Yeah.
No,
Mhm.
he will be playing standard. I promise you, he will. He will standard play. I'm already seeing deck lists out there that are already playing 1 or 2 of them, already testing it. He's just ridiculous. Ground
Okay.
Assault, I'm actually kind of curious about too,
So that's
because it deals damage equal to the number of lands you
and
control.
it, and it
target
only
creature
gets
for
better
2.
late in the late game.
It's
That's what I
sorcerer
like
speed,
about it.
so I don't see it in standard, but
Like-
in limited, it's
Yeah,
going to be
there's
a
no
very
downside
good
to this
removal
card
spell.
really. Because
Yeah, but
the first time I read the card and I read like the title of the card, I read it. I was like, I thought
Right.
it dealt damage
Yeah.
to
I
creatures
like
without
it.
flying. But then I was like, wait, let's make sure to read the card fully. I was like, oh wait, that's much better than what I thought. The worst charm. I think this is actually worse. In my opinion, this actually is worse than.
all right, now we're getting to
Yeah.
a charm
Yeah,
that I
Reckless
kind
Charm.
of do think is not that great of a charm.
How? That's one you would cry
Rakdos
about.
charm. And, you know, I lost a guy at the pre-release with 3 Rakdos charms. It was so sad.
It's
Yeah, it was my only
basically
loss
any
for that
focus
entire
deck, like
weekend.
any humans. It's like
Okay, creatures
care.
without
Human
flying
deck.
can't block this turn. That's okay. I mean, it allows you to push guys quickly. Alright, gain control of all permanents you own.
There's like a
That's for
lingering
EDH
souls, and
only.
that's about it.
And
But there's enough
world
cards
deals
that
3
hate
damage to
lingering
each
souls
creature with flying. 3 damage ain't gonna kill a Restoration Angel out here.
No.
Yeah.
This is probably the worst charm. Although the Orzhov charm is
turn
pretty
any
freaking
creature
bad
you
as
control into a
well.
removal spell.
Yeah, we'll get to that one in a second.
At least.
Gruul Rage
Okay.
Beast. This guy is nuts for limited. Yeah.
Not to mention, he comes into play and he starts swinging immediately.
Okay, the only downside to him is that creature is forced to fight.
Yes.
So, if you have like 1/1s and 2/2s, the only time you'll play them is if they have a 1/1 and 2/2 you want to shoot down with it. Other than that, this guy would be like by far one of the best cards.
Wait a minute, I'm going to stop you right there and let me explain why, because I already thought about that. Alright, so he's a big old fat 6/6 for 7. He comes into play, you get to eat one of the guys, and now from now on, you can't play any creatures unless you have something you can fight for value. However, you're forgetting one key element. Why play your dudes when you can just turn this 6/6 sideways and either they kill him and you get to play your creatures for free while, you know, they're throwing away a bunch of bodies to do so, or they're eating a crap load of damage. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter. You just turn him sideways. If you can't get value from playing your creatures and fighting, then you just turn him sideways.
Yeah, because when you play him turn 7, I mean, you're going to have so many Blood Rush guys in your hand anyway that when you attack, you can probably give him trample and go, like, we were just talking about that uncommon, the 4/4 trample. Now you're looking at 10 damage.
I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so they can't just leave him unblocked.
Not nearly
you know what I mean?
good.
So...
Yeah. Hey, Vindicate's back!
You know that frontline medic?
High Priest of is dealt damage. You destroy target non-per. If he could be indestructible, he'd be so fun.
You can.
No, I know. Frontline medic.
Frontline medic.
But that means they just won't block him and they'll just take 1.
Well, and then you play some effect that deals, you know, for red and 2 colorless, deals 2 damage to each creature.
Yeah, rolling Trembler. Yeah, I like High Priestess. It's a 2/2 for. It's a 1/1 for 2. It's a very good top-down design. It's great. The casual
I like him with that
card,
enchantment.
And you could see possible play in standard not anytime soon, but
that card
you never know.
Pretty good.
Yeah. What? Another thing I like about him is you can make him fight with a creature. Use it like make him fight. He may die, but you can destroy any of the permanents that are giving you problems. After that, so you can turn that Prey Upon into a destroy target Planeswalker potentially, destroy target enchantment potentially. So you never know.
I don't like it because it
Hydroform
evolve.
turns a land into a 3/3 elemental with flying.
Until
I like it. I like it actually.
You know, we were just talking about
it does a couple of things. It gives you some extra
kind of
land destruction if you want to go that route. If you have a way to kill it, yeah.
Rug control, rug colors right there, yeah. There we go. There's an option for.
I'm gonna laugh on Moto when people do this black.
But no, I like it because it allows you to turn one of your lands into a 3/3 body that they don't have an answer to, and you get to eat one of their guys without them knowing.
So can you please just take 3? It's like no.
Yeah, exactly. And even I'll be like, oops, my bad, sorry.
This is one of my
Kingpin's Pet. That's a funny name. 2/2.
I like this a lot.
Flying Historic. It's a fine card.
This reminds me of
another one of those cheap extort cards. You know, if you get all the little.
All right, there we go. This
You're
reminds
gonna
me
have a
of
good day.
Blind Hunter Bat.
Yep.
In the original Ravnica. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I was about to say the same thing. Because it did the same. It made me lose life and they gain life, and
I have him.
yeah, fine card. It's a fine card. I'll definitely play it if I had it.
Hexproof is a big keyword on him.
Okay, this guy is. I'm interested about Lazav, the Mirror Mastermind. 3/3.
The Mirror Guild Mage.
Hexproof. When a creature is put in the opponent's graveyard from anywhere, field, hand, grave, deck, anywhere, you may have him become a copy of that creature, and it's still the same name. It's legendary in addition to the other
you play
it
limited.
still gains the hexproof ability.
That's about it. Or you play.
I am curious about it. I don't know how you can abuse it.
Like, I was actually thinking about.
But the reason I'm curious about him for standard is that hexproof mechanic, that hexproof text right there.
It's not just limited. This would be very good in older formats when you're playing against someone who's got Eldrazi in their deck or something.
It does.
Even though the Eldrazi will shuffle back in, it still triggers this, and I believe it does, doesn't it? Doesn't it hit the graveyard? So there you go. So it'll trigger this.
Also, another thing I
become,
like about this card is that it
a nice little
triggers from a creature
15-15
from
flying.
Anywhere, so you can really
It's
kill the biggest thing. He becomes
pretty
the
good.
biggest thing on the play.
And
hexproof. Attack with him. Yep.
Yes. Or you can just mill it. You got so many ways to get it. It's good.
Anti-agony ward.
Now I like this next one. Target creature gets +2/+0. Target creature gets +0/+3. Good look.
Yeah, that's gonna be a blowout card right there.
Yeah, it's a combat trick. Yeah,
well, when you attack with 2 dudes and they block 1, and you give the one they blocked the 3 toughness and the one they didn't block the 3 power, that's a pretty big game. You're hitting them really hard, and you're
probably one of my most favorite
from
mythics,
killing your dude.
in a limited standpoint, and possibly standard because
Master
of the
Biomancer.
potential that it has.
Yeah, it's a 2/4 for 4.
Now,
each other creature you control enters the battlefield with the number of additional 1/1 counters equal to the Biomancer's power and have mutant as addition to its creature type.
And it works when you give him 1/1 counters as well. Then he still get another one. So essentially, any 1 counter you're giving to him will apply to every creature after that.
Yes.
Yes. It's like, heh. Oh, good. I played the 0/1
He's
time
not legendary.
and then played. I had 4 Biomancers in play. I just played Make 9 for 1 mana. Die. Yeah. I want this card so bad in control decks because even against control decks because blue whites will play a Detention Sphere or Oblivion Rings or Angel of Serenity, play this, and you get all your stuff back. And basically, it just doesn't hurt you because it works. It's such a flexible wrath spell. It gets rid of fixes the problem that you want and nothing else you don't really care about.
What do you think, Micah? Because I'm on the fence on this one.
To be honest with you, I like it in older formats, and by older formats I mean EDH, and that's about it.
I don't like it.
You know, in limited, it's the only sweeper you have, so it's okay there. But in standard, I don't like it. There's not enough artifacts. I guess it would be a decent sideboard card as like a one of in like an Esper control deck or something like that. Against Pillow Fort or something where they're setting up all these stupid mechanics. They got a ton of them in play, and it gives you a way to get rid of all of them in one sweep.
I don't have the rules spell for it, I'll just exile it, or like against Reanimator deck, this card's perfect. But because well, I sideboard out the 2 effects I put these 2 in.
I would prefer Terminus as far as an answer for creatures.
Okay. You want to split up into two? All right.
Hey, let's split this thing up in two.
All right. Sorry about that. We had to split the video up into two parts because we didn't realize how long this segment was.
Yeah, because it's really big.
Still on the multicolored cards, and we're gonna start off with Mind Grind. That, yeah.
Casual player's favorite
I like
card.
the limited because you can hit it for more than
Limited
once.
player's
You can turn into a
favorite
mind
card.
funeral, on.
Yeah.
Unless you have the unlucky, like, oh, they top 4 cards.
You hit it for
lands.
4, and that's gonna mill so much.
Yeah, that's true.
But then you're
yeah,
like, but then you're like game 2.
it can happen.
Okay, it could happen, and that would be terrible. But if you usually, you're gonna have like you're gonna have like 2 spells and then 1 spell and then 2 spells. So you're gonna hit like, what is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're gonna hit like 9.
Do you know why this is
Not
a $20
not
card?
quite the glimpse of the unthinkable.
Not
Exactly.
quite. Well, obviously it's not.
And plus it
glimpsing
mills
unthinkable.
for crap ton for 2 mana.
But
Because it's a casual card.
Uncommon. And this is a better EDH.
Everybody be
version
smart.
of
Get your
Mind
copies
Funeral.
and your foily copies right now because they will never go down. Look at Mind Funeral. It's a $4 uncommon.
Bad card.
Alright. Mortis Strider. 1/1 for 3. When it dies, return it to owner's hand.
That's
I don't care for it.
it's only good if you have the right cards to go with it. If you have the little rat maker dude, that could actually be pretty good.
I like it.
That
I
or
like him
stack
better
him
than
to
the
that
Ravnica
guy that
card
makes
that was
the
in
mill
Return to
into the
Ravnica,
hill land.
the one that
Yeah,
dies and puts on top
exactly.
of your deck.
He's a good card if you have the other cards to abuse his
Yeah,
return.
This one doesn't make you lose drop step, so it's a lot more. It's better. You can better prepare.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
I hate
terrible.
the card.
Then you lose draw step.
Isn't this like Mystic State?
Ooh. This is an interesting counter spell. I'm actually kind of curious about it. Mystic Genesis. Costs 5.
Yep.
Mystic
It's
Snake costs
not
4.
like Mystic Snake. I'll tell you what's different about it. Mystic Snake can be reused. This cannot.
Yeah, this makes a token where it takes the concurrent mana cost. So paying 5 to counter something that costs 3, you make a token and you counter it, but it costs too much.
I think they did it.
I don't know why they
purposely
didn't
so
just make it
wouldn't
cost
seem to
4 again. I think it would have been fine at 4, even
Yeah.
with the effect that it has. And I mean, I guess, but they shouldn't make cards to not play. They should make cards to play.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been a good card to play at 4 mana.
Yeah.
Mystic Snake would have been
this-
freaking fantastic, especially with like Restoration Angels, and that would be way too powerful, in fact, and that's why it's good that they didn't make that.
Yeah. Nimbus Swimmer. It's a X-Spell Leviathan. It's fine.
Let me ask you a question. Isn't there an enchantment in green that says whenever a creature enters the battlefield, or whenever it gets +1/+1 counters, you like double it or something like that?
Yeah.
This also works because you can.
Funny card.
It works early game
Hey,
to get.
that's already
some
seen
early
play
evolved
in
figures.
some
Also
casual
works late
decks
game to
and
get a
things like
big
that.
value
Well,
with
here you
flying,
go.
and also possibly
This is
Oh,
a good card to go with that.
Yeah, this is one of like a chase uncommon for the Semic decks. And plus, this also gives you a way to.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Well,
In limited, this is going to
It's
be a
also
really
going to
good
be a
card.
lot like I think the Graft, the 3-mana 5/5. Can't attack or block, and you just move the one
Trickery
to
balls.
wherever you want. This is going to be a much better version of that card because of the fact it lets you move the counters around, but it can also be aggressive or defensive. Give me this card!
Well, let's leave the powerhouse uncommon to the
Obsidian.
side, and let's get to
Obsidian.
the meat and potatoes of this set over here. Obsidian Ghost Council. 5/5 for
Obsidian.
5.
Obsidian.
Obsidian.
Obsidian. Obsidian. Alright, the Obsidian Ghost Council is obviously a huge card. Everybody's been talking about it since it's been spoiled.
Well, let's read what he does first for the viewers to understand. When he enters the battlefield, your opponent loses 2 and you gain 2 life. That's always nice. But at the beginning of your end step, you may exile Obsidian.
Okay, first off,
whoever it is. If you do,
you can,
return to the
it
battlefield.
triggers when you cast,
under
you play
under
the
his
first time.
control at the beginning.
It
of
triggers
your
on your next upkeep.
And it gains
It
haste.
triggers on your next upkeep.
And
And you opponents can't wrath it away at sorcery speed. And he's a 5/5 for 5.
Yeah,
right?
he's immune to sorcery speed removal, and
there's not much premium instance fee removal.
here's another thing. A lot of
you
the
can blink
discussions
it.
about him I heard were talking that, you know, the best answer to an Obsidian is an Obsidian. And if you play your Obsidian after I played mine, mine's exiled. I drained you for 2. Okay, you drained me for 2. So we're back to 0-0 now. Okay, mine comes back into play. If you left yours in play so that it'll kill mine when it comes into play, then yeah, they died, but I still get to drain you for 2. So maybe you're going to get greedy and let yours exile and hope that I keep mine in play to kill yours. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of it gets into this battle of who wants to pull the trigger and leave it in play so that it kills the other one and lose the 2 life.
The thing is, though, there's only a couple instances already being played right now anyway outside of standard that you will see more play. Murder doesn't even see play at all, but it may actually just because this card becomes a problem. But there's a card that's already seen play that may become a 3-of in this green-white deck, and that's Celestia Charm. That's one of the only instances that actually can deal with them in an
It used to be a
exile.
4/4, but they pumped it up to a 5/5 so that Celestia Charm can hit this card and get rid of it.
Right. But the funny thing is, see the color combination? It's in black. There's an enchantment and Innistrad card, Heartless Summoning, that lets you become a 4/4.
It's such a good card.
And it
there's
costs
so many
1
ways
less.
to
And you can
make
still
it
do all
where
these
it
little
doesn't
trickery
die.
things, but it's a 4/4, so it gets under Celestia Charm. Right, so honestly, Obsidian's gonna see
and I would
play.
play 5
We just
colors
don't know
just to
what
have
home
him
it's gonna be
trigger
in, and
evolve
if he
each
does
turn.
become a powerhouse, what options are out there to
Because-
actually take care of him. And there's very few right
Oh,
now.
yeah. But you came with a lot of the guild leaders, I think. Oh yeah, he's like the biggest one.
So we can go on and on with him all day, though.
we have not gone to yet, but that one.
Yeah, but especially him. Him and
Well,
one
him
of
and
them coming
there's
up. There's one
there's
coming
one
up.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one was pretty awesome.
Does anyone remember Pillory?
1,000 lashes. Cost 4. It's an enchantment. Enchant
But
creature
this
can't
one you
attack or
actually-
block.
actually you can't activate
Activated
abilities.
abilities can't be
The other one
activated.
could.
And if they get upkeep, they lose a life. What card is it? Pillar to the Leary. So they made it
This
cost
is the
1.
one. This is like the enchantment. I think would is gonna
Right,
be
and it's an uncommon,
really,
so we won't
really
see as
good
much.
in turns. His Pillory
Still a
is
fine
really
card.
good.
Still a fine.
It's a removal spell that gets better. It's a better removal spell that works over time.
What's a removal spell? So it's one of the.
That's a
Right.
pretty relevant ability.
All right,
for
a random veteran. It's a 3/1 for 4.
do you-
2 red planes. Battalion. When in 3 creatures attack, it gains double strike.
You're just gonna hope your opponent doesn't have the +1/+1
Yeah.
Yeah.
to blow it out.
He's okay. I mean, he's something you're going to grab early in a
And-
good aggressive Boros deck, or even